Welcome to another exciting playthrough here on Unversed Cast Incorporated.
That girl just died. Oh my god.
I love that they kept the title screen gag in so much. I'm so happy about that.
I didn't know that was in this game.
Yeah.
Does that only show up if you've beat it?
No. You can do that whenever you want. I don't have save data on this because I play it on PS5 mostly.
Oh, that's right.
You can do it whenever. It can be either Lolo does that, or Popka can do it. I think Popka will drag Klonoa down from the ground in a jump, and Lolo just trips him. It's funny.
All right. So this...
Oh, for fuck's sake, I pressed start to stop this from happening.
So Dan, this is your favorite game of all time, right?
Yeah, it is.
Whoa!
So hopefully we can explore some of that in this playthrough, because by the way, we are playing the Phantasy Reverie version, everyone, and if you have not purchased your own copy, do so. You're getting 2 good games for the price of 1, and it is much cheaper than buying the originals. Trust me.
That's what
I did. For $40.
And honestly, trying to play the original nowadays, I have a few issues with the re-release, but it's still pretty damn good. The reason I play this is because trying to play the original, whenever you enter a load screen, it like desyncs your HDMI, and it's the most infuriating thing I've ever dealt with.
Yes.
So this is just the best way to do it. Are we ready to go?
Let's go ahead and get started.
I'm going in blind.
I'm ready. I was born ready. All right.
So we're real gamers, so we're gonna play on normal.
Hell yeah, let's go!
None of that pussy shit.
It is kind of nice that they added, like, well, it's not like this. Well, this game gets kind of tricky towards the end, like that second arc level. Kicked my ass the first time I played the game.
It's a ring. It's
but
like
one pet peeve I have with this remaster is that the bottom right thing never goes away, and it really annoys me. So that thing's gonna be down in the bottom right for a while.
But King, did you know that you could skip the cutscene or make it go 5 times fast?
The speed option is very useful because some of these cutscenes are very slow, but I wish it was not there the entire time.
Like, the story in this game, like, we're probably all going to have varying interpretations of it. I have a very specific interpretation I will share with y'all.
I have no interpretation because I've never played this game before.
Heretic.
That's a crying shame.
I have it, though. I own both the PS2 version and the re-release. I have it.
The council orders you hung by your entrails and paraded throughout the city as an example for all who would break our covenant.
I'm supporting the release! What the fuck?
It's kind of like how I bought the second Ori game when it came out, but then I didn't play it for like a year afterwards. That's supporting the game. Now, the whole Dream Traveler thing, which will be explored more in a bit, is not really explained directly what that means. The implication I always got is that Klonoa visits these lands in his dreams, and his job is to like solve whatever's ailing them.
Yeah.
But then in the first GBA game, Empire of Dreams, the dream world he specifically goes into is like the Chancellor's dream. There's like an emperor guy who's having trouble with like an evil prime minister guy. I think his name's Bagoo.
Bagoo.
Yeah. He's the final boss. Spoilers for Empire of Dreams, the game nobody likes.
Bro, why would you spoil it? I haven't played it yet.
You haven't played this one yet either.
I've only played a little bit of the first one, I'm sorry.
You could probably beat them both in like a day if you really wanted to.
Yeah. They're not super long.
Pop. Pop. I like how they just say pop. This gibberish language is very fascinating. It's like similar to Japanese in some ways, but like it's also clearly fake.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. But you can sort of like pick up on commonalities when they say certain things, and I appreciate that.
Like they don't pronounce the letter N.
Yeah.
Klonoa. Klonoa. So, we've come to the land of Lunatea. And this direct sequel to... Well, I interpret it as a direct sequel to Door of Phantomile, but I suppose it couldn't.
It could be a brand new
I
experience,
think
one
the
could
beauty
say.
of Klonoa is that anything could have happened in between 1 and 2. It's very ambiguous.
Yes. It's like the Silent Hill of kiddie platformers. It's up to your
Yeah,
interpretation.
basically. As weird as that is to say, it is very, yeah, it's quite similar.
I don't think I've ever heard that before. Congrats.
Well, a lot of this game is like metaphor. Because like it's a real story, I guess, but it takes place in a dream. So it's kind of like, hold on, I need to turn this off. I don't need help.
By the way, Dan, I played
I
played the entire game with the pixel filter on. How does that make you feel?
The pixel filter? That thing is like...
Yeah.
You mean this thing? Hold on. This thing is weird looking. Oh my god.
Ah!
You played with this on?
I love it.
What is
Oh
this?
my
I love
God.
it. It makes it look like a 240p game. It's got like the limited color gamut and like dithering and stuff. It's great.
This...
I
mean,
just said the word, everyone. Is this gonna be a 100% speed run? Or...
Okay, we're turning this off, by the way. 100%? I'll try. I'm not usually good at doing it, to be honest with you. There are some levels where I just forget 1 or 2 of them, and I don't feel like going back in to get them. But if you want me to do it, I'll do it.
So I mentioned earlier that this game, or rather these games, are pretty expensive now. There are like 5, 6, 7, 8 different retro game shops I frequent, and I want to say the last time I saw Klonoa 2, it was like $190?
The PS2
Yeah, it's pretty
version,
expensive.
you mean?
Yeah. And it's one of those things where, like, when I bought my copy originally in like 2013, I think it was only like $15. Alright, and we're back. Sorry about that, everyone. I'll make sure to store both of those files. We've been having some recording issues today. It's kind of a pain in the ass. But anyways,
What a lovely day.
I cannot tell you how great it is to walk through that loading screen and not be met with pain.
yeah, I want to say a few years ago, I tried to do a video discussing the story in this game, and one of the reasons I never did it is because recording this game is a pain in the ass on original hardware. So, favorite game of all time, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
Could you give us kind of like the short version of why that is?
Alright. So I played this game as a wee lad. I don't know how my dad found this game. I guess he just went to GameStop one day and he was like, hey, this looks pretty cool. And he was like, yeah, you want to play this? I was like, sure. And like, it was I think one of the first times, I think I played SA2 before Klonoa 2, but I'm not sure. It was one of the first times I encountered a game that had like a deep story, and it really impacted me I didn't really understand the full picture of it, to be honest. There's a lot of things you probably won't get about this game until you're older, but just the idea of having like this grand adventure with like phenomenal music and really cool sights and moments like this that's about to happen in a few seconds here. Yeah. I think it was just like this really cool spectacle. I've always appreciated it about it, and it kind of formed the foundation of the things I look for in games today. So.
So it is what you would call a formative experience.
Yeah. It's very formative.
So did you play this before the first one, then?
Yeah, I did.
Cool.
I didn't have a PS1. I guess I had a PS2, but we didn't really buy PS1 games. My dad was all about buying me new games, you know. So wasn't really a thing that happened until much later when I had access to buying my own games when I got like an allowance and shit. But yeah, this game was always, for a while anyway, it was that one really nostalgic game from my childhood that I kept coming back to, that nobody would ever talk about or know what the fuck it even was.
Oh, yeah.
Literally nobody I knew what this game was. So, in that way, it was always like a curiosity. Like, hey, what's that weird game that nobody ever talks about? It was really incredible. Why does nobody ever talk about it? So, it's also one of those games for me.
Doopa doopa! Yeah, so it's... like, my version of that game that I like that nobody's ever played is probably, like, Lords of Shadow.
Hey!
I didn't play that until I was, like, 17. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I imagine this could be, like, a really good... Because it's kind of funny that you mentioned that. It's like, as a kid, you just, like, hey, look at all the cute cartoon characters and the pretty graphics and the nice music and stuff. But then, like, when you get older, you can appreciate, like, the depth of the storytelling here.
Yeah.
So it's actually a pretty, like, the presentation isn't the best, which is why a remake might be nice. Because it's like, you guys here can see, like, the cutscenes are kind of slow.
Yeah.
Because you have to wait for everybody to talk in a language you can't understand. Whereas the first game
where you can kind of do this.
Yes. Which is good. I wish that I want to say in the original they didn't have those big ass text boxes.
Yeah,
it's been a while since
they
I
were
last
not
played it.
this big, but they took up a decent portion of the screen. I think they might have been taller than they were wider, if I'm thinking about that correctly.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to explain, but...
It was also 4x3, so it didn't stretch so far. Which is... I will say, the big problem for me with there are two problems. One Dan mentioned already. Every time the game cuts to black, the video cuts out. Like, it stops, like, broadcasting video, which is fine if you're just playing it, but if you're recording, it'll fuck up your sync. And, you have to have, like, your recording hardware set up in a specific way to record it. And, number two, the game's 480i only. And there's no... As far as I've experimented with so many ways of forcing progressive scan on PS2, the only game I've gotten it to work on is Sonic Heroes on PS2.
The version of which you'd probably never want to play anyway.
Exactly. Like, they have alternatives if you want to play that game in progressive scan, but, you know, like Sly Cooper, if you use the 480p code, it makes it 240p. Which is like, yeah, that's so great. Then, GS Mod Selector is very selective about what it works with. So here we're kind of learning that Lunatea is split up into 4 kingdoms. Each one has a bell. When you ring the bell, something good will happen. It's kind of the gist of this cutscene. And there's, you can read into what each of the 4 kingdoms represent. We can kind of talk about that as the playthrough goes on.
I keep thinking of Jay's reviews when I look at that logo down there. Look at his shirt. It's like the same color scheme.
It does look like the Jay's Reviews logo.
Wait, which logo y'all talking about?
Hold on, look at Baguji when he comes back on the screen.
Okay.
Baguji is a prophet, by the way, so he prophesied the arrival of Klonoa the Dream Traveler in Lunatea. So, bad thing, it's basically the Zelda plot, where monsters show up and everybody's unhappy. Except instead of Ganondorf, it's something else. There's a 5th kingdom on the horizon with a cursed bell.
Sounds like my wedding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you and King were happy for the day that it happened. Yeah. It's, I mean, like, you got divorced the next day, but...
No, we got divorced the day of.
The same day.
Yeah. Kim Kardashian, eat your fucking heart out.
Is it ever going to show Baguchi again? It's not even showing the correct angle of him.
I like how he has
Baguchi, are you JFJ's reviews? I need to know.
He has Super Mario Sunshine hands. It looks like
I was gonna say like Rayman.
Oh yeah, it does kind of look like that. Little Lolo's.
Okay, you can see it sort of the green and the blue down there. It's very zoomed out, but
I'll make
it's like
sure
the same color scheme he has going on.
I'll put it up here for y'all in post so you guys can see it.
Oh boy, can't wait.
It's kind of sad that the save, you don't manually save anymore, so you can't hear that song for nearly as long. It just kind of goes away. So.
Well, lucky for me, I imported the soundtrack from Japan on CD. I've got it in like high quality stuff. Great
Did you
soundtrack.
know that I bought one version of every physical copy of this remake ever released?
Why? I mean, I guess
show
you
my
want the official
support, man.
release, bro.
I think, like, I supported it by buying it on PC day one. I didn't buy a version of it for every console. I mean, I guess
This is like my golden son, alright?
fair
I
point.
need to show my rep.
I was about to say, like, King, I understand. I feel you. I would do the same.
I don't even have an Xbox One, but I now have the Xbox One version.
Hey, you know what? Just in case.